bad. They can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life. Today, we'll be talking about how to look on the bright side of life. First, I'll show you what even is looking on the bright side of life. Then I'll go into how you can use looking on the bright side of life in your everyday activities. And finally, I will be showing you the benefits. So first, smiling our way into my first main point, what even is looking on the bright side of life? So you may be wondering, okay, so there's maybe a little song to it, and maybe you can just do some like little things and looking on the bright side of life. But we all have troubles, and we all have our downfalls, and are all in bad times. But in those times, you should look on the brighter side of things. It might sound a little bit cliche, you know, there's always the silver lining, or look to the sky and see the sun within the clouds. And all those things are right. It might be hard in that instant or that moment. Maybe it's just a little thing, like you failed your test and you just think there's no way you're gonna get your grade up, and this is just the end, so there's nothing you should do about it. But instead of looking at it that way, you can look at it, okay, I failed this test, but the next test I'll do so much better at, and maybe I can even raise my grade up just that little bit. Or in situations where it's maybe a little more not as bright, you could say a death of a family member or a pet. Those are hard times, and maybe there's not a good thing to look at in that moment right there, but if you look towards the future, there's always a silver lining, something you can bring out and have a good side with. You can think of it as more of an experience to help you in those tough times. On to some quotes. Of course, the quote, "Always look on the bright side of life," is from the song, "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life," from Monty Python, The Life of Brian. My dad and I would always watch this movie, and I found this song, and I actually stuck to it because there's a lot of things in life you can't control, and you're going to have these bad times. But if you look for the bad times, then all you're going to see is bad times. And now we're going to go into some fun quotes. First, from SpongeBob. "Sometimes the little things start closing in on me. When I'm feeling down, I want to lose that frown. I look out the window and I look around." So with this, you can take it as, you know, sometimes you're going to have these bad things and all the little things are going to start gaining up on you, but you can't just let them get you down. You got to find the happiness and find your way through it. Another one is Abe Lincoln. "So most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be," which is a very true statement. If you try to look for the bad things in life, you're going to feel sad and depressed. But if you look for the more happy things, you're going to become a more happy person in general. And of course, Albert Einstein. Man, how many people are trapped in their everyday habits, part numb, part frightened, and part indifferent? To have a better life, we must keep choosing how we are living. And choosing to look on the bright side of life is one mindset you can have to better yourself. Now, on my way to my second main point, how to use looking on the bright side of life. You don't have to go watch a 3-hour-long video tutorial. You don't have to go buy a 1,000-page book and read it. And you don't even have to pay money to do this. It's free. Yes, free. Just like those commercials you see. All you have to do is think of it in your mind, and it'll flip like a switch. Even though it may be hard the first couple of times, and it seems like there's no silver lining or bright side to all your bad occasions, if you keep thinking on the negative side, you're always going to only see the negatives. Once you start looking for the positives in life, it'll take you far. From nm.org, it states that you can improve your well-being by using generosity, acts of kindness, and positive outlooks. Through those things, you can have an entirely healthy life, and it can even help you to improve your day-to-day benefits, including even speaking to people or in academics. Now, skipping our way to my third and main point. How do you even look on the bright side of life? So this past year, it hasn't been too amazing if you look at it on the downside. I first broke my hand in January, which ended my wrestling season, and that wasn't too fun. And also, just right after, the week later, I got COVID. And then another 2 weeks later, one of my dogs died. And then another week later, my other dog died. those events were just, it really didn't feel like I felt the world was against me. And in some light, you can look at it and I could be sad and I could be like, the world is against me, there's nothing happy. But if you look at it in a different way, you can have a better life and a happy life. So I broke my hand and it ended my wrestling career, which isn't fun, but it made me realize how much I enjoy wrestling and how much more motivated I am to do better and get better and be able to wrestle and get to be the best of my ability. With my dogs, it's a little bit sadder, and my one dog, she was 14 years old, so it was good. She had a long life. My other dog was diagnosed just a week before with like lymphoma, I think, and it was a little more sad, but I knew that since we were putting him down, he was going to a better place, and he was going to be in not as bad of a condition, and he wasn't going to be hurting anymore. But through this, you can look on the bright side of it. You don't have to always, you can be sad, but don't have that sadness for too long. Because if you waste your emotional energy on thinking of the sad things, you'll get ill. Or you can even, from positivepsychology.org, you can even have downfalls such as illness, unable to think, insomnia. And these things can lead you to even more of a spiral and snowball down and down and down. But also from positivepsychology.org, if you use positive mindsets, benefits can be improved heart health, improved strength of the immune system, improved stress, and even improved pain and life expectancy. So through just looking on the bright side of life, you can live longer and become more happy in everyday life. Now, on to my last and final conclusion. So even though I'm not Albert Einstein, not as smart as him, I'm not as big of a leader as Abraham Lincoln, and I may not even be as happy-go-lucky as SpongeBob, I hope you all take this always looking on the bright side of life mindset into your day-to-day life and bring it out your happy side, because we all need to look on the bright side of life even when things are bad.